Hi, everybody, and welcome back to the Empower Hour with Lilomi, Molly C, Ennis. I don't know if I like that intro, but I did it last week, so I feel consistency is needed now. We'll change it 100 more times in the future. And what a beautiful journey to be on. I just wanted to thank you all so much for following this journey, for being interested, for the likes, the shares, the comments, the everything of it. I've always felt very not understood, not misunderstood fully, but just like not like people got me as me, except for those very, very close to me. And it means so much to me to know that my message, my intention is reaching others, and I'm able to be vulnerable myself, and it's celebrated. I appreciate it a lot. Like a lot, a lot. I did take my glasses off because I use a ring light right now, and nobody liked the green orbs in my glasses, so I'm gonna save you from that here. No promises in my interview for this week. But this week, have to give a little intro. I sit down with my mom, who is an incredible woman. I'm very fortunate that I have an extremely resilient, empowering mother, and I think through many of her lessons is what inspired me to even do something like this, to chase after creating some sort of platform, creating some sort of opportunity for other people to take some time out of the busy, chaotic lives we live right now, take a moment away from the news, and just hear real life stories and feel empowered by it. Her stories are incredible. She's an incredible woman, and we share a lot, and I really hope you enjoy it. It's gonna be a full hour. Yes, it is. Get comfy, you know what I mean? So I just really appreciate the opportunity to do this, to do it with support, to do it with views. It all means so much to me. I don't take any of this for granted. But I really hope you enjoy the next hour of Brenda A. Ennis and Molly C. Ennis sharing laughs, sharing stories. I think we get very vulnerable. We share a little bit about my dad, who passed when I was 11, back in 2009. And overall, throughout it, it is probably one of my favorite conversations I could have ever recorded. And I'm just really thankful. Shout out, Mom. Shout out, you. Thanks for coming on. First guest. Shout out. And I really hope you enjoy it. So take some time, get cozy, get comfy. And here you are, the Empower Hour with Molly C. Ennis and special guest Brenda A. Ennis. Thank you all. Hello, everyone, and welcome to this week's episode of the Empower Hour with Molly C. Ennis. Joined with a very special guest, my mommy dearest, Brenda A. Ennis. And I'm very, very thankful for you taking some time, being my first guest.
Very happy to be here. Very excited. Very exciting, this whole process.
I know. It's fun.
Yeah.
And truly, I wanted to start out with you because you have been a source of empowerment for me all my life.
Okay.
You have shown me what it means to be an advocate, to use your voice for others.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to share some of that lessons that you have taught me.
Okay.
To share some of your experiences. And also to just understand your passion.
Mm-hmm.
How you continue staying so dedicated and so motivated to use your voice for the good.
Okay.
And I think that can be really relevant, especially nowadays with everything going on.
Yeah.
And this is a time for people to just learn from your experiences and hopefully feel a little empowered at the end.
Well, I hope that somebody gets a little piece of something out of this. That would be great.
It's always the goal.
And if not, that's okay too.
That's okay.
That's okay. But I'm Molly's mom. That's what I'm known as, Molly's mom.
It's true.
Best thing I've ever done is have Molly. And I enjoy watching her blossom into this incredible human being that she has become. She is funny. She's hysterical at times. She is a character and a half. I don't know where that comes from. She has a great sense of humor. She's getting a really good sense of self, I think. Her later 20s, I think that you have become, starting to become who you really want to be, I think. And it's great to watch that happen.
Thanks, Mom.
Welcome, Mom.
But now, the people are going to want to know who you are. Talk a little bit about you, girl.
Well, I'm 64 years old. I'll be 65 in March. I am a widow. I've been a widow for 16 years. We lost Molly's dad in 2009. We had a tough go of it for about 7 years. We had a lot of people care for us and help us, and that was something, I think that was a huge lesson for me, the way others stepped in and cared for you and cared for me at times also, and cared for Daddy, of course.
Yeah.
I have a beautiful granddaughter, Avery, who I cherish with all my heart, my daughter-in-law, Jess, and of course, our Craig. My stepson, who is a character in his own, a lot like his father, which is great. So we are, or I am, I guess. I am working. I love my job. I'm working for the town of Hanson, and also I still do a little part-time work for the town of Oxford. The Hanson job, I love it. I work for the board of the select board and the town administrator. It's a great job, nice gig. It has given me a lot of freedom. Really enjoy it. Really enjoy the people. The town itself is fabulous. So I do that, and that's basically where I am right now. I love being in my 60s. It was a lot easier. These years have been a little bit easier than my 40s and 50s. I can say that. Let's see, what else can I tell you about me? I do little artsy things here and there now and then.
Yeah.
But that's probably, the gist of it right now. I don't have, which is fine, I don't have a lot of relationships other than really you and the people at work. I think when you become a widow, in some aspects, you lose some of the people that you thought would never leave you. And for whatever reason, they've left me, and that's their choice, and that's okay. I mourned that for a while. That bothered me. But I'm over it. I have my sister, my nephews, and we just had a family get-together for Christmas, and we laughed the whole time. We had a great time. Yeah. So what I have in my life right now is exactly what I want in my life. I don't need to go out searching for anything, for people or relationships. I think that that's an important part. When I was young, I thought if you were popular, you had it made. And that's not true at all. That's not true. As you get older, you realize you want your peace, and you want to be with who you actually really care about. And that's what's important. Being popular and having oodles and oodles of, whether it be followers or whatever that is, or all of that, that's all bullshit, really, when it comes down to it. Be with who you want. And we do have a very close group of people that we enjoy. Yeah. Jonathan is one of my, will always be, shout out, will always be one of my nearest and dearest. All of your childhood girlfriends are second daughters to me. They're all growing into their own too, and becoming, if you were married, your college friends, again, some of my favorite people in the world. So I'm happy where we're at. I really am. We went through we went through some tough times, but we're over it, and we're going through some really good things coming, have been, and just kind of going through life with a little bit of better ease right now.
I agree there. I think we found our community.
Yeah.
And I think we found so many friends that may not share blood but are still family.
Yeah.
And that have really proven that they care for not just me but also for you. And I think that always means so much to me, to have friends who recognize how important you are to me in my life, and how how strong you are, and to see that and celebrate that, I think that always means so much to me. And ooh, we're just trying to kick it off, Bren. Dang
We're
it.
kicking it.
Okay, let's get into the questions, because we have questions.
Let's hear them. I'm ready.
So I would like to understand, for you, when you were growing up, who is somebody you admired, you consider a role model that you looked up to?
My grandparents. My Albanian grandparents. I'll say it that way. My mother's mother and father. My pup was probably, and will always be, one of the best men in my life. He was a tailor. He was a hard worker. Came to this country by escaping Albania through Turkey and Greece. He was a true gentleman. And I remember when we would walk down the street and he would hold my hand, and if a woman was passing, he always wore a hat and he would tip his hat. Not say anything, but just tip his hat in a respectful acknowledgement of, a woman passing him. He loved baseball. He would listen out on the porch with a little tiny transistor radio of baseball games, and he was just a really nice. Never heard him raise his voice. Never heard him yell at my grandmother, or my mother, or my uncle, or my aunt. He was just a very good person. My grandmother was a tough cookie. She was strong to a point of resilient and powerful, had a great sense of humor. She taught me how to cook, which made me a great cook.
Yeah.
She was an immaculate dresser. Every time she went out of the house, she looked like $1,000,000. She was a hard worker too. She was a leather stitcher making shoes at H&H Brown Shoe, and would go to work every single day, even when it was a foot of snow outside. She never drove or anything like that, but taking the bus to go downtown was a big deal, to go downtown Worcester and go shopping. She had my grandfather had a tough time also with my aunt, who was mentally ill. And being from another country and not knowing, in those years we're talking the 50s and 60s, when a lot of this came about, they didn't know what to do. So my grandmother had a very strong faith, a very strong Orthodox faith that powered her through. And she lived until she was 94 years old. She survived breast cancer. She survived stomach cancer. Like I said, she was a tough cookie,
Yeah.
So, but those two probably, I think in many ways saved me. Saved my childhood was not very good. And I think that they saved me in many aspects. So those were my role models, those two there.
I love that.
Yeah.
Thank you very much for sharing a little bit more about
You're welcome.
my great-grandmother and great-grandfather.
Yeah.
Coming through from Ellis Island, I think is so relevant and so important to commemorate and respect today and celebrate that they came here.
Yeah.
For the opportunity, for the faith, for the comfort
Better life.
and
They
safety.
were looking for a better life. Yeah.
Just as any immigrant is.
Yes, that's right. That's right.
Anyways, so my next question for you. Growing up, you were on the school committee.
Yeah.
All 12 years that I was in Oxford Public Schools, which I just loved. You gave me my high school diploma. Your signature is on it as a school committee member. I want to know what really pushed you to run for a locally elected role within the town.
Okay.
And kind of what motivated you. What did you learn through that journey?
I was approached by a couple of Oxford residents that thought I would be somebody that would be a good fit for that. You were
She
in
was.
you were in kindergarten at the time, and I talked to your father about it. We had long conversations about this because we weren't quite sure what it would entail.
Right.
And I knew that the people that were on the committee were there for 30 plus years. A couple of them were there for a long time, especially one of them. And when the word went out that I would be running for school committee, they jumped on me and kind of gave me a hard time. I wasn't a townie. I wasn't somebody that anybody really knew. They didn't know anything about me. I didn't grow up there. Who am I? What am I? What am I doing?
Right.
Was that small town mentality?
Yeah.
And I ran against a townie, and I beat her. And I beat her, not by a lot of votes,
Right.
not by a lot, but things had come about that she actually called for a recount when I got elected, and I actually won by more votes after that recount, just like 2 or 3 more. But 12 years on a school committee, I did it for you. I did that because I wanted to make sure you had better than I did. And I knew that Oxford had a fairly good school system. But I wanted you to take everything you could out of it to move forward. And I wanted that for all kids. Once I got into it, it wasn't just about you anymore. It was about all children, all your friends, every child in town. I learned a lot about children with special needs. I learned a lot about teachers and contracts, and I was part of the negotiation team, and I actually was a negotiator for a few of the contracts on the town side, on the school committee side. So it was a lot.
Yeah.
It was a lot. And I met a lot of people, and I senators. I went to the State House. I testified at the State House numerous times, actually, in regard to funding of education. I was on Fox News for funding of education.
Local Fox News.
Local Boston
Local
Fox
Boston
News.
Fox
Yeah, Boston, yeah.
To be clear.
Yeah, yeah, right. I wanted to make sure that you were getting the benefits that I didn't have. My mother was not big on education. She wanted us to go to school, but it was not like, strict or anything. And I don't think I was strict with you, but I wanted you to get everything you could out of it, and that was what was important. And then once I got in it, and I really got in it.
Yeah. Absolutely, you did.
I guess part of the goal for me was I learned not all children go home to love.
Wow.
And that bothered me a lot. And I started to know some of these families. And there would be mental issues or drug abuse or alcoholism or physical challenges, all kinds of things. Food inconsistency. I mean, lots and lots and lots of different things. And you look at a small town and you think it's just a small town. Well, you don't know what goes on behind someone's door.
Yeah.
And when you kind of are brought into their life because they come to you looking for help and resources, I took it to another level.
Yeah.
And I made sure that people knew they could call me, and I would do everything I could to help them. I would call senators, I would call state reps, I would let them know what's going on. And Senator Moore used to say, you don't say no to her, you just don't, because you will regret saying no to Brenda. And he actually said that quite a few times. I wanted to make sure that everybody was being treated fairly, especially the kids. The kids were getting what they needed. And so that impact on me took it further for me, that I wanted to do even more. And that's when I started doing my advocacy, when we would collect food for families in town for Thanksgiving and Christmas. We would get Christmas presents. People would actually bring their turkeys and leave them in the trunk of the car.
Oh, yeah.
And there was a note on the car that would say, don't shut the trunk. Because they would come at all hours at night after
Yeah.
work and dropping off food or presents or whatever it was. And you remember the kitchen would be full of baskets and food, and we'd have friends help us deliver.
Mm-hmm.
And nobody knew they were getting this because we would get information privately.
Yeah.
And we would just drop it at the door and we'd take off. So it was not a thing of, we were really secret Santas. We didn't want any recognition for it. We just wanted to make sure people had what they needed to have either a nice holiday or just know that, hey, we're here and there's no shame in this. This is just love. This is how you spread love. So that being on the school committee spurred off a lot of other things,
Yeah.
a lot of other things. And when you graduated, I knew I'm done. I had enough because it's a tough gig to go through. 12 years is a long time. And the day you graduated, I said, somebody else take the wheel because I am finished. I am finished.
And you're allowed to do that.
And I did it.
It's period. But I think, too, a lot of people think you need to commit yourself for 30 plus years to prove your worth.
That's
You
the
don't.
thing. You shouldn't.
You shouldn't, because that's called burnout, and you can't pour from an empty cup. But I think, too, the way you even explained that right now really just resonated with me, and that's exactly how I feel like I learned the value of community through you and through those experiences. You never had any other motive other than this is just what's right. This is just how you should show up for other people to make sure they're taken care of, to make sure that they have what they need, and especially for families to
Right.
provide for the younger people in the family.
Well, compassion goes a long way.
Right.
And the definition of compassion is to suffer with. Ooh. So when you have compassion for other people, most of the time it is because you have gone through hard times yourself.
Yeah.
And that is the truth.
Right.
There is no one on this planet that hasn't gone through hard times.
Yeah.
So the level of compassion you can make yourself. My level of compassion is very high because I don't want anyone to struggle. Life is too short.
Yeah.
We all should help and take care of one another. That's the way life should be. As we know, it's not like that, sadly. But I think there's a lot more good than there is bad in human beings. I've seen it.
Yeah.
I think those that struggle with their, whether it be hate or whatever it is that carries them and makes them feel like I don't need to do anything for anybody.
Yeah.
Wherever that comes from, that is their problem.
Yeah.
It is not anyone else's problem but theirs. So compassion goes a long way. Love and respect goes a long way with that.
Yeah.
And it's important to have it.
It's crucial.
It is. It's life-giving. It's life-sustaining.
And it's life-saving for others.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And I think you always role modeled that so well through your actions. You never were just talk. You always had actions backing it. You never shared on Facebook to get likes.
No.
You never did it.
No, we didn't do it like that at all.
No. And you always are so strong standing in that. Even when I joined a sorority, started doing my own, philanthropic work with them, I felt weird taking pictures at the end of it. Because it was like, why do we need to take a picture of it? It's different when you're doing it on behalf of an organization.
Right.
You want to share and celebrate the work that the organization does as a whole. But I truly think because of everything that we have gone through and the way we have not turned hateful is a constant example of how you raised me, of how you stay consistent in your values and your morals, and how even though you have gone through things that would shake other people's souls to their core, you stayed so strong and resilient. And I admire you all the time, but especially with how far we've come, how far you specifically have come.
Thank you.
I'm just thankful for you.
I'm thankful for you.
And
we are a good team, you and I.
Type shit. I would like for you to share the feeling you had when you began to learn how powerful and impactful your voice is when you speak up for justice. I think a specific event that made me think of this question. Yeah, there was an individual in our town who was a child that was getting just weird comments from their bus driver.
Oh, right.
You allow me to share this. Mother called you to share that this experience was happening. This daughter was coming home so upset because this bus driver was saying crazy things to her.
Horrible things.
Horrible things.
Yeah.
Ignorant, deeply ignorant things. To a child.
In elementary school.
Yeah. And you didn't just call what you could have done, call the bus company, ask to speak to the manager, say, I have a problem, I heard about this, here's my title, here's why I heard about it, can you talk to them? She could have done that. Not my mommy. No, ma'am. She said, I'll be there the next morning that young girl is picked up at the bus stop. And she was. And she had words direct with that bus driver.
I did.
That, for me, always resonates with me of, like, you weren't just talking about it, you were always about it. And, like, that is something I appreciate and I look up to so much because I think there's so many terms nowadays and people who are very performative with their activism, very much they say the things but they don't follow through with it.
Right.
And it's hard to trust when people are actually being authentically themselves and, like, actually mean the things they say.
Yeah.
So how did you kind of find that power within your voice? What was it, that kind of situation that made you realize, like, oh, I have it. I have the voice of of justice in a way.
I was on the school committee then, and I had brought it to certain powers that be at the time, and they were, well, we'll take care of it, and it didn't happen. And then the mother had contacted me again and said, it's getting worse. This is a bad thing. And I said, I'll see you in the morning. And I stood at the end of the driveway with her husband behind me. And when the bus pulled up, the look on the bus driver's face was a bit of fear. And I let her have it. And no words were spoken again, and actually that bus driver went on to a different route. So that changed. Whether or not she stayed, I have no idea. I don't know. Many times people have told me, you can't do that. You can't say that. You're not in the position to do anything about that. I didn't take that as an answer.
Yeah.
I would... Maybe, I probably broke the rules a little bit, and it didn't bother me to do that because I knew when I was speaking, I hate to say that I knew I was right, but I knew it was the right thing to do.
Yeah, right.
Whether or not the impact was 100% what I wanted it to be was a different story.
Sure.
I was told off many times, and I could give that right back. I was told it's none of my business. Well, when somebody asks you to do something or needs something or it's resources, whatever it is, and they come to you, it becomes your business.
100%.
And for anyone, usually the ones that say it's not your business are just pissed off because they weren't the ones asked to help. So I will say, I got a reputation of, if you need something done, call Brenda.
Yep.
And then teachers would be calling me, and this would, especially elementary grade and middle school, this family's having trouble with this or that. And I didn't go into names and all that. I would give the teachers the information. I'd give them the resources. And they would make sure that, the families got whatever it was that they needed through me.
Yeah.
I still do that now. I did it when I was out of the school committee. I still do it now. If somebody contacts me, I can still make a phone call. Let me put it that way. I still have those connections to make a phone call. And if I don't need to make a phone call, I can do it myself.
Yeah.
So I had a lot of domestic violence families that were going through horrible times. We had mothers with their children that went into hiding because of the violence they were experiencing, and the courts knew that there were certain people in the courts knew that, if you contact Brenda Ennis, she can make things happen for you.
Yeah.
Teachers in Webster, I had a whole group of teachers in Webster that would contact me. There was a significant child abuse issue in Webster, Mass. Whether or not it still is, I don't know.
Yeah.
But at that time, it was significant. It was probably one of the worst towns in the state. And we did a lot of underground things because that was the only way to get them safe.
Mm-hmm.
So a lot of things happen beyond what you see and what you hear.
Mm.
So that is where a lot of my voice really became. I said, to myself, I would say, it doesn't always work, but you do have a few victories now and then, and when you get those victories, you take them.
Oh yeah.
You absolutely take them.
Yeah. You have to celebrate the wins, big or small.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Your sense of justice has always been a driving force, I think, for you. You, just like how you said, you may have broken some rules. You may have, not done things the traditional way, but you did things because you knew what was right within you. And you could trust your instinct, I think, when it came to that. Of like, yeah, this rule's in place, but
fuck it.
But fuck it. Mama's gotta work. And,
Yeah.
everything you said really resonated with me. I think I've also, anytime somebody's also kind of told me you're being too much, or like, you don't need to be speaking up so much. You don't need to do all of that. Like, you're doing too much. I always think of you and how you never allowed that to get in your way.
No.
Or intimidate you from not speaking up.
Right. Exactly.
And so, for our viewers, how do you overcome those feelings of intimidation when it comes to speaking up? How do you?
I've been intimidated. I will say that I've been intimidated, and I would take a step back, and I'd say to myself, what is going on here? What's really happening? But I always follow my gut, and I've tried to teach you that as much as possible. If it doesn't feel right, if something is happening around you and it does not feel right, or somebody is saying something that just doesn't jive, or you walk into a situation in a room and there's shit going on that you are like, what is happening here? Get out of the situation. Get out of the environment. It is not meant for you. When somebody tries to, or did in my younger years, there were a lot of men that would try to intimidate me, especially in the political realm. I didn't know enough. I wasn't connected. I didn't have money like they did. I wasn't a millionaire. I wasn't this. I wasn't that. There was no place for me at the table. Things like that. I would vehemently disagree in many, many ways.
Right.
And I would always stick up for myself. It took some learning to do.
Yeah.
For young women today, in their 20s, you have got to understand, and you've got to learn for yourself how to do it. You have to learn how to do that. Don't let anyone make you feel inferior, ever.
You want to look in the camera and say that one more time?
Don't let anyone make you feel inferior.
Ever.
Because that is what they want to do. They want to make you feel less than. Stand up. Speak up. Even if your voice shakes. Because
Clock it.
women today have an incredible opportunity to master change in this world.
Yeah.
Far more than I did. And I worked in a all male environment in the construction realm for years, 25, almost 30 years.
Yeah.
That was a tough environment to work in.
Yeah.
There was a lot of sexism, there was a lot of harassing, there was a lot of keeping the woman down. But on the flip side of that, too, I had some men that I worked for that would be, Brenda's in the room, there's no swearing here. You know, she's one of our executives, she's in the room, shut your mouths. When she comes into the room, be respectful. And I did have men that worked like that, and I know for a fact that they were good men.
Right.
But there's always those guys that think that, you know, this is not woman or ladies or whatever they would refer to you as, do not have a seat at the table.
Yeah.
Well, when you're running a $256 million project and they need you there,
right,
you do have a seat at the table. So those kind of roles for any woman now, be stronger. Be smarter. You are smarter. Show your smarts.
Yeah.
Don't sit back and say, oh, geez, they made me feel awful, or he said something terrible to me, or whatever. Well, if he did, let him have it.
Yeah.
And say, look, you have no right to speak to me like that.
Yeah.
You know, I'm being respectful to you. I deserve it back.
Bare minimum.
Don't let anybody, even another woman to woman, because that's another whole other story, woman to woman, that they can't support each other. So always make sure that you are who you are and be strong. Stay strong. Don't let anyone make you feel small. You know, these young women today and that think they need a man in their life to be something is absolutely fucking insanity. A man does not make your life.
Right.
That is not what life is about. Getting a boyfriend, a husband, a mate, a partner, a companion, whatever you want to call them. Be your own person.
Yeah.
Be your cheerleader, your own cheerleader. Make sure you stand up for you. Nobody is going to do it for you. Nobody came and rescued us. Nobody came and rescued me when I was struggling and thought I was going to die.
Right.
Because I didn't know which way was up. Nobody said to me, "Oh, I'm here. Don't worry. I'm going to take over."
Right.
That does not happen in real life. So be strong. Be the person you know you can be.
Yeah.
And don't let anyone ever tell you you can't, because you fucking can. You just have to try. And if you fail, who cares? That's the best part of it, because you know you fucked up and you can say, I can fix this and I can do better. Don't smarten up. I'm going to tell you, once you hit your 30s, you're going to be like, okay, what now? You're going to be lost in it. And don't let that happen to you.
Yeah. I love catching your passion, the way you speak on camera, because you speak to me this way always, and sometimes you get so like strong. I'm like, did I do something wrong? But
I let you know when you did something wrong.
no doubt about it. But I do think that entire rant, powerful, loved it, A+. And that is I think it's a big reason I never prioritized having, I wanted to date or wanted to.
Yeah, definitely.
But you always were very reassuring to me that once that occurs, that's not like, oh, everything falls into place.
That's
I
right.
think for me, especially women right now, we're in such a unique position where we do not have the same kind of teachings that potentially you may have. Where it's like you need to find somebody so you can have a home, a bank account, a credit card,
Yeah.
have the necessities you need in life. Women are, for the first time ever, the most empowered to do that themselves.
Right.
To create their own. They can go as high as they want when it comes to education on their own accord. There's no blocking. There's no barriers to break down because thankfully other women have broken those barriers down.
Right.
For us.
Right.
And so I do think there is a sense of responsibility that a lot of women, a lot of folks, we're open to all identities here, a lot of folks need to feel empowered in their voice because there's so much discourse online that is so contradicting. And so here's how to be a stay-at-home housewife and make the most of it. Here is red pill male agenda and toxic masculinity being forced. When in reality it's like, how are you making sure you go to bed at night and you're proud of how you acted and what you did that day? And when you have 100% yourself, and I always believe this, you need to show up 100% yourself and 100% your partner in any relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Because if you rely on somebody else on filling your 20%, that maybe show up 80% that day, you need them to fill that 20%. You're never fully whole yourself.
Right, that's right.
And so never relying on another person to make you whole or give you your confidence, I think is kind of a good summary of everything that you just mentioned, but is a very different landscape now. We cannot rely on anyone else to pick us up.
That's right.
It is our own responsibility.
And it took me a long time to learn that.
Yeah.
A long time, because I never felt like I could be that.
Yeah.
I didn't grow up like that.
Right.
I didn't grow up with my mother telling me you can go do anything you want to do. That was not our life. It was not like that.
Yeah.
There was a lot of it was a bad I had a bad childhood. There's no other way to put it. It's just on face value it was a horror show. My father, my stepfather, it was tough. It was a tough growing up. And it was something. I always had to be funny. I had to have humor.
Yeah.
And that's how I broke through being sad all the time.
Yeah.
Now when I'm funny because I'm happy,
Yeah.
But back when I was young, that was my defense.
Yeah.
Was my humor, was being funny. I had to be the funny girl. That's who I was. But I want to get back to one thing. Because of the way things are now, with whether it be the political climate, whatever, the way the world is, this is the opportunity for women all over the world.
Yeah.
What we have witnessed, and history will even go back, what men have done to the political climate, the environment, we could go on and on, medical breakthroughs, everything. We could go through everything. Men, certain men, not all, certain men have destroyed the value of women at the table.
Yeah.
They don't believe women belong at the table.
Yeah.
And look at what is going on. So the women who are strong, who have a voice, use it.
Yeah.
Get your seat at the table. It's a great saying. If they don't have a chair for you, bring your own and be part of the conversation. Be part of the solution. Everything has a solution. It may not be an easy one to find.
For sure.
But there is always a solution. It may take years to get the solution. It may take forever.
Right.
It may start with you and the solution comes through by someone else.
Right.
You have to be able to stand up, let your voice shake, let the tears flow if they have to, but don't back down.
Right.
Don't back down because somebody, whether it be a man or a woman, tells you you can't do that, you can't say that. We don't act that way. Yeah. That's not how we do things. fuck them. Literally, fuck them. Tell them to fuck off, because that is not the way life is now.
Yeah.
You've got to show that you're smart, you're strong, you have something to say, and you're gonna fucking say it. Period.
Period.
And all you young women have that opportunity to do that now, because now is when it's needed.
Yeah.
And you will start the ball rolling, and you will see, yes, there is light at the end of the tunnel. There is hope. There is justice. And be part of it.
Yeah.
Don't let your thoughts take over and make you feel less than. Don't do that.
Yeah.
Get away from that. Whether you got to meditate, pray, whatever it is, talk to other people, get through it, and go be somebody who is going to make a positive change, because you can do it.
Yeah.
You just have to try.
And I think it's a big thing to step outside of your comfort zone.
Absolutely.
And that's the biggest challenge.
Absolutely.
And I think a lot of people and women who don't like feminism, who don't think it's worthwhile, they enable toxic masculinity. They enable these distorted mindsets that some people across the nation still have, that women still have to prove themselves. They're still better as homemakers. They're still better being quiet.
Right. It's all stupid.
Ugh.
It's all bullshit.
It's all bullshit, and it's so needed, I think, for so many women to know that you are a valuable whole person as yourself.
Yes.
You have so much power and conviction in your own voice, and you always allow me to speak even when I have tears. I'm a very vulnerable person, and I think at times that's always been a hard thing for me, because I've discredited myself, of like, I can't get through it without getting emotional or feeling something. But
and as your mother, I try to, and I do all the time, I try to fix it for you, because I'm your mother, and I want to, when you're upset, I want to say, do this or do that, or don't think that, or whatever I say, and you get upset because I try to fix it. But that's the mother side.
Correct.
And I'm learning to just be quiet and let you fix it yourself, which you have done. I have. And that I'm very happy for, because there's your sense of self,
Exactly.
And that will empower you and make you even stronger as years go on. You'll 10 years from now, you're going to look back, you'll probably, maybe if you still have this video, you'll look back and you'll think, wow, I came a long way, baby. I've really let myself be who I want to be, not who you need to be, who you want to be.
Yeah.
So that's what I want for you. I want you to do everything you want, but I also want you to do it in a way that will be a benefit for you and make you not really a better person, but make you a rounded individual who knows who she is. Yeah. And that's what I pray for you, because I want you to know you are so important, and you're so smart, and you're so strong, and you have so many opportunities that are going to come your way. Like I tell you all the time, you're going to have and you are starting to, a really big life. You're going to, and you have friends that are right on your heels that are going to have a big life with you, I know who they are, and I think you know who they are. They are stronger than they know.
Oh, yeah.
And they're smarter than they know.
Yeah.
And I recognize that if they give themselves the peace and the opportunity and the love for themselves, they can do absolutely anything they want.
Yeah.
Don't stand by and let anyone tell you no.
Ever.
Okay.
I think we're winding down to the end.
Okay.
Which is crazy. You have always just been... I've always felt so lucky to have a mom who is so vocal, so strong in her values, and like I I've always only ever known you as a woman who cannot be budged when it comes to where you stand, how you stand for things, and it always breaks my heart having to talk about the younger years for you and that experience, because I do not at all in a similar way, but having to be the funny person, having to be the one people could make a joke at, or with, or whatever that looks like, resonates. And I think through that, I always got very worried that that would be where I was stuck in life. But because of you, I knew that that just wouldn't be the case. You always pushed me for leadership. I'll always remember when I first ran for student council in middle school. It was in the middle of the day. I had to give my speech. My mom and my dad came to the middle school in the middle of the day to sit in the auditorium with the rest of the 5th grade class and hear my speech. And that was
I could do that because I was on the school committee.
But I think for me that was the first time I ever put myself out for leadership. I did not win. I'll always remember that. Didn't win. And that never happened again. Clock it. But that could have easily been. I didn't win, and that was it. I'm done. I'm never touching leadership
That's
again.
right. But it wasn't.
But it wasn't. That was the beginning of me putting myself out there.
That's right.
And
You've got to fail.
I have to. And I'm so thankful that I was able to do that in such a supportive environment with you and Dad. And, I so wish he could see.
He does, Mom.
Who I am now. But
he does. He's right there with you all the time. He's with us all the time.
Thank you. I know.
He really is. He's with us. We've seen it, Molly.
That's true.
We've seen it. We've witnessed it.
I know. I just wish it wasn't as creepy sometimes.
But he is there. He absolutely is there. Absolutely.
I'll share a quick story of one of the times we witnessed it, quite literally. So we went to this inn that in Agunquit, Maine, the Gazebo Inn. That was our place. Every summer growing up, we went there. We spent a week there, and with my dad, and it meant so much because it was a place he loved. He could fish when he wanted. Like, he went out in the mornings and fished, and it was just a place with only happy memories. And I think for us that was hard to find at some places, and so that it means so much. Still does.
And it still is.
It still is. Absolutely.
Still is our
and we
place.
still go to Agunquit whenever we can
We just went for Christmas,
to remember him, and his ashes are scattered off of the coast of Perkins Cove, so it forever means the world to us, that location. Anywho, a year after he passed, we went there for Christmas. The very kind owners set up a beautiful dinner for us. We were driven in a old-timey limo.
Mercedes limo.
It was just unbelievable. But important note, we stayed in the last room that we stayed in with my dad. We were able to rebook that same space. And so we go out for this dinner. We go out, and we come back. And as we walk in, all of the lights are on. Every single light within our room is turned on. The kitchen sink was running. The ceiling fan was going on high. There was a little glass rocks, little fire kind of propane stove. That was on. Wasn't on when we left.
No.
I'll never forget. She looked at me. Molly, why did you leave all the lights on? Why would you leave it like this? My 12-year-old...
This imitation of me is...
accurate. My 12-year-old self did not leave all the lights on, the ceiling fan on high, the fire going, the sink on, all this stuff. And so we were like, okay, must have been housekeeping when they came through.
Right,
somebody must have come in the room. And so the next morning, we saw the owners at breakfast. And we said, random question, did anybody come and service the room last night because everything was on? And they were like, what do you mean everything was on? We were like, everything was turned on high. whatever the case is. Everything was on. And they were like, we'll double check, but I don't think so. And so then she's further confirmed it was me. Of like, Molly. They come and tell us there was no, they showed us security footage that there was nobody that came to our room from the time that we left.
They looked, yeah.
They looked and they showed us. I remember standing over the shoulder and watching, just having them run it real fast. Nobody. And we're very certain still that was my dad, your husband, saying hello, saying how happy he was to see us back at our spot, and he wanted us to come back and see that he was there and he visited us. And that's one of the many.
I'm going to share one. Your freshman homecoming, when Craig and Jess and Avery and Jackie and Bub, we all went to Bridgewater State. There was not a parking spot to be found.
Yeah.
And I found one, and as soon as I got out of the car, there was a penny with its heads up.
That's him.
Right there. And because there was nowhere for me to park. And somehow I found this spot, and there was the penny on the ground, heads up. Right there as I put my foot out the car door. There it was. And that's where Daddy went to school.
Yeah.
So there are moments, and everybody has them.
Yes, of course.
You just got to recognize it.
You do.
Yeah.
And it's always my favorite to share those stories and just to be able to remember the good.
Yeah.
There was so much hardship.
Yeah. We went through.
He struggled with a lot of medical issues, and his own challenges and battles that he faced himself.
That's right. Yeah.
They took a toll on him and anybody around, and I think the best thing is it brings peace that he is at peace. He's no longer suffering.
That's exactly
ever.
Right. Yeah.
And it feels selfish to wish that he was here and want him here to just see me as I am, but it is so special to know that I've had an angel looking over me all my life.
And you will always.
Always. And
always.
I have mad angels up there. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Mad shorties. Shout out all my angels.
Yeah.
I'm just very thankful that I get to remember him with you and learn about him from you whenever I can. Anywhoosies.
So leave it on an upbeat note.
What final thoughts do you have to share with the people?
Final thoughts. Have peace in yourself. Be peaceful in yourself.
Motherfucker.
Know who your people are. Know who your people are.
It's a good one.
Because people will come into your life with masquerades, with masks on, and you don't want to be part of that. Know who your people are, even if it's just one. That's all you need. You don't need to be this thing of being popular and all this other. It's all bullshit, and it's all. It means nothing. It really means nothing, because people will just use you, and you may find yourself using others also, and you don't want that. So be good. Be a good person. Do good. Take care of each other. Take care of people you love. Let them know you love them. And even if it gets weird, let them know you love them.
Period.
Even if it gets weird. And I'm going to end by saying a lot of... it took me a long time to find a happiness that sits with me now.
Yeah.
It took me a lot of years. And now I feel like I have... I'm not fully, not 100%, but I do have a happiness that I have not had in my life before.
Yeah.
And a lot of it has to do with you.
Shout out to you.
Shout out.
I love you so much, Mom.
I love you too, Bibs.
Thank you so much.
You're the best. You're the
and
best
chat,
kid I ever had.
Because I'm the only kid you've ever had. And
Bella, you're a good girl too.
Shout out to our special guests here. Let's come together for a quick clip. Thank you for joining along as we laughed, we cried, I cried, and we were able to be vulnerable. I think vulnerability is a strength. It is never a weakness. I will always, if I get emotional, I cry. Psha, doesn't make my words any less important. Doesn't make my words any less true, any less valid, just because I got tears in my eyes. Girl, I am a water sign. It's gonna happen. Inescapable. Cancer sun, Pisces rising, like I'm cooked. Cooked. I'm gonna cry. And it's okay. Bad bitches are allowed to cry. And a bad bitch is a gender inclusive term. That's my spiel there. But thank you so much for taking the time to listen, giving us your time and energy for an hour. And I just wanted to share because we live in a very crazy time. Very vile acts are happening against human rights. There's constant fear in our neighbors and in our communities for their safety, which it should never be. Never be in America, shouldn't be worldwide, but unfortunately that is the reality that a lot of people are having to live through right now. And I challenge you to step outside of your comfort, of your bubble of safety potentially, or your bubble of understanding. I challenge you and empower you to listen to stories of individuals that are experiencing the revolution in Iran right now. They have no internet access. I challenge you to follow along with the media reporters that have survived the genocide in Palestine. I recommend you listen to the stories of Sudanese women and their families and what they have been going through their own civil war. And there's so many other areas in the world. We need to fight for what is right. We need to speak up, even if our voice shakes, even if it feels like we're doing too much. We're not. People deserve to live safely, to live happy lives with resources and opportunities. That's my belief. That is the bare minimum of my beliefs. And so I will always speak up for people. I actively post on my personal Instagram as well as the_empower_hour 2026. So I just want people to know that if I'm not speaking directly in this camera, in this mic, about all of the things going on in our world, it's because I'm speaking on it everywhere else. And I keep my foot on the necks of anybody who thinks otherwise. Don't come to my space. Don't. Because I will educate you. I will share some very hard watches so you can be exposed to some of the realities that other people are having to live right now. I'm in a very comfy bubble. I take a lot of time outside of my bubble to educate myself, to challenge my beliefs, to challenge my white privilege as an American woman, as an American cisgender woman. I have a lot of privilege that was given to me societally. I did not earn it. And so it is crucial for me to use that privilege, to use all the resources that I have access to be the change that I want to see. Plain and simple. And so please know I'm always sharing really great posts that I think I've learned a lot of educational bits from. Some of the pages I recommend following if you're interested in following along in up-to-date news and broadcasts of others' lived experiences and the reality of what's going on in our world. It's heavy, but we have to come together. We have to call on the leadership that is elected, that has all this power, to actually put in checks and balances, hold people accountable. I be calling my state representative, my governor, daily, blowing up their voicemail, with a smile on my face, because I'm doing what I can. I'm doing what I can. I have the privilege after work, during my work lunch, to sit and do what I can. And I will. So I really hope you challenge yourself, empower yourself through the actions you can take in the areas you have control of. Talk to your friends. Have the hard conversations with those who maybe don't understand why it's so important to speak up. We need to. Period. Thank you again for watching. I am hopeful for a better future for our world every single day. And that's why I will not stop speaking up. I will not stop advocating in the ways that I can. And I really hope we can all do that together as a community. Thank you all so much. Sending so much love out into this world. Hope you got it. Hope you got it. It was just for you. But thank you so much for being here. I will see you next Thursday. Take care of yourself and your neighbors and your mother this week. Thank you. Love ya.